You are now watching the ODTV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Brock Brown, the ODTV. We talking boxing, right? I am overjoyed. Karma has finally hit. The heavyweight division is back. The possibility of undisputed is very likely, very real. And Deontay Wilder got served up a cold dish of humble pie. His fans got served up a cold dish of humble pie. His protectors got served up a cold dish of humble pie. And I just want to say, it couldn't have happened to a more deserving person. It really couldn't. I mean, on a multitude of levels. Deontay Wilder, I'm not going to tear into him too tough because I know it's not all him. And I know how the country can be. I know how money changes people's mentality and thought process. But Deontay Wilder, you should really take a look at yourself in the mirror, not just because you lost the fight, but you should take a look at yourself in the mirror for what you tried to do. And with Tyson Fury, credit to him, because that was equality and leadership and a person who was really trying to affect change. I'm not saying that you have to sit on a podium and protest for black rights at all, but Deontay Wilder, you actually did the opposite. You tried to use the racial tension between black and white people all across the globe to kind of like sell your fight. Not kind of anything. That's what you did. You tried to use the systematic oppressive struggle that black people have went through on multiple continents. And due to the color of the skin of those oppressors, you're trying to somehow racially charge your fight and turn it into a race war. That's wrong. That's really wrong. You show pictures of the ancestors and you make it, they made it, or you made it a point to have the broadcaster of the program say, look at this ancestor over here. These are legendary ancestors. Look at the pictures of the legendary ancestors on the walls as Deontay Wilder coming out. Like you're some type of representation of them or of us as a whole. You're not. You're not. I know dozens, hundreds, if not millions of black Americans who would choose a different fighter, black, possibly white, over you. So I don't know where it comes from that he's our representation or he's their representation. I think that's very, very corny. I think that's very, very weak and whack. I don't have, and like I said, kudos to Tyson Fury for saying this is not a race war. This is one heavyweight against another heavyweight. You know, shame on black people who think that Tyson Fury is trying to be some type of great white hope. He told you himself he does not represent all the Europeans, all the white Americans anywhere on the planet. He already told you that. He represents his family. He represents the UK. He represents BT Sport, MTK Global, ESPN. He represents the people he works with. Just like Deontay Wilder represents himself. He might represent Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I don't know. I've never asked anybody from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, do they mess with him like that? So I couldn't tell you. He might represent, I know he represents his family. He represents the PBC. He does not represent black people, just like Tyson Fury does not represent white people. But I don't want to spend too much time on that. I just want to address that you're corny for trying to use our legendary ancestors' work of kicking down walls so you could benefit and be where you are today, but you're not a part of that because that's not the landscape, that's not the climate with all or every influential white person in the country or abroad. That might be what's going on with the police and us. The police and us might be at war. They might be systematically exterminating us, and we might be fighting back on whatever platform we can, Deontay. But that has nothing to do with your fight. Tyson Fury's not American. He's not a white American police officer. There might not be a police officer in his family. And every white police officer is not out here killing black people. That's the closest thing to racial injustice that is on the surface, that we're all fighting every day, that black people are scared in their cars. Like that's one aspect of the oppression that we get in this country and that other people get in other places. But my point is, Deontay, your fight is no way, no shape, no form representation of that, because all black people ain't the same. All black people ain't together. All white folks aren't the same. All white folks aren't together. So that's just a completely idiotic and nonsensical ideology. And if you have it, you're a moron and you're part of the problem and not the solution. Anyway, hats off to Tyson Fury. How about that? I mean, Tyson Fury whooped his ass. He whooped Deontay Wilder's ass. That wasn't even a fight. That wasn't a fight. And like I said, I'm going to call it a raping because it was wrong. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call it a raping because it was wrong. But Deontay Wilder, you reap what you sow. See, you opened up Pandora's box when you called Fury back. Don't knock on the devil's door and think he's not going to answer. Trouble is very easy to find, especially when you go looking for it. And that's what you did. You went and got Tyson Fury knowing he was a better fighter than you, knowing he was a better boxer than you. And due to the fact that you never fought a power puncher and your very shady resume leads all of us who are paying attention to understand, Deontay, that you were cherry picking. So to cherry pick Tyson Fury and then sitting there in that press conference to talk about how you brought him back to boxing and how you told him to get his life back on track, that very well may be true, Deontay, but you did it at your benefit. Because you swore up and down, your team swore up and down, Al Heyman and the PBC swore up and down that Tyson Fury, after fighting 2 cruiserweights, had no chance against you. And I want to make it painstakingly clear that he beat you. But because you own the promotion, because you were a side of the judges, because you were a side of the venue, because you were a side of the ref, because you were a side of all these things, because your people had their hand the deepest in the promotion, you were gifted a draw. Now, why am I rehashing all that? Because Tyson Fury says something that is the most 100% accurate, true statement he's ever made in reference to Deontay Wilder. He said, if you can't beat me at 50%, Deontay, how in the world are you going to beat me at 100%? You couldn't beat a half mass, 50%. You couldn't beat me when I'm at half of my strength. How will you beat me when I'm at my full power? Impossible. And the thing about Fury that we've all known for a very long time, that Tyson Fury was arguably, if not definitely, the best technically sound boxer in the division. We all knew this. We all knew Fury had hands from the Klitschko fight. We knew that he can box and he could outpoint people a la Money Mayweather. We knew this. For a heavyweight, and then the awkwardness, then the height and the length, the reach, it's trouble for everybody. What we didn't know about Tyson Fury was that he would expose to the world how fragile Deontay Wilder really is. Fragile for a multitude of reasons. Fragile for a multitude of reasons. Like I said, Tyson Fury, that was a raping. He mauled him. He mauled Deontay Wilder, straight crucified him. Deontay Wilder never was in the fight. He was never doing good. He might have landed a few punches that were decent, but he never had a chance. The first round was Wilder losing. The second round was Wilder losing. The third round was Wilder getting dominated to the 7th round. Mark Breland made the correct call. JDs, you can try to be Wilder's friend after the fact. You can try to say you were pro Wilder, go out on a shield. That just means you're not as good a trainer as Mark Breland. That's all that means to me. You're not on Mark Breland's level. You can't possibly be, because you didn't have Deontay Wilder's best interest at hand at that point. You should have, because there was an argument to stop it in the 6th. By the time we were done with the 5th, that was 3 rounds of domination in where Wilder had been down, and ever since he took the shot on the temple, he never got right. I wonder who that sounds like. Can y'all help me? Who does that sound like? His name is on the tip of my tongue. Oh, Anthony Joshua. That's who we talking about? Anthony Joshua. Oh. So Wilder got hit in the same spot as Anthony Joshua, and the same thing happened? No, it did not. Wait, why didn't it? Why didn't the same thing happen? Anthony Joshua's side ain't throw no towel in. Anthony Joshua continued to throw punches, even when his legs were spaghetti strings. Oh. So, the baddest man on the planet, huh? I mean, Blue Bloods, that's your king. I mean, he's ego smart, so he's going to be humble about it anyway. But Blue Bloods, that's your king. I'm sure Ness is sick. I heard Ness was on the call the other day. He was cutting people off at 22 seconds. Hey, man, that's just what they were saying. That's all. They were saying, damn, Ness cutting them calls short. He ain't saying nothing. It's just click. Such and such and such and such, let's go. Click. Such and such and such and such, let's go. 78 Sports, where you at, baby? Barbershop Conversations, you've been at odds with the corporation. But this is why you can't play the race card, because it's not necessarily guaranteed a black man or a white man will win in either fight, either way. It's not how boxing works. We should focus on the talent. The talent that Tyson Fury showed in the first fight when he beat Wilder on points. We should focus on the talent. So if he beat you on points in the first fight where you was half mass, why wouldn't he dog you in the second fight? But with nobody seen coming, full disclosure, is that he was going to stop you. Full disclosure, I had Tyson Fury winning on points because that's what happened the first time. And I figured that a better, more in shape Tyson Fury, let's understand, let's use the same metrics we use with football players and basketball players. Being 6'2" and weighing 270 pounds or 280 something pounds, 6'3", like Andy Ruiz is a completely different world than being 6'9" and weighing 273. I just want you to let that sink in. And obviously for somebody who lacks the technical skill that Deontay Wilder lacks, there's a difference between being 219 and being 231. There's a very big difference I see. Or there's a very big difference. Those little legs couldn't hold that weight up. Like I said, he was fragile for multiple reasons. His little legs, his little chicken legs, couldn't hold up that 231. Once that 273 started laying on that 231, oh boy, I get so weak in the knees. Exactly. That's what happened to Deontay Wilder. That's how he hurt his leg. Tyson Fury laying on him and him trying to move away with 231 on him and 273 on his 231. Those chicken legs wasn't built for that. I mean, this was, as the UK fans say, a master class. He schooled Wilder, took him in the backyard and spanked his ass. That's exactly what he did. And like I said, I couldn't be more pleased because we're going to get an undisputed fight. You got to understand, Wilder, we were never enamored with you. We never cared about you. We cared about all the belts either being with you or with somebody else. We cared about Undisputed as the fans go. The businesses, they do what's best for their business. But Tyson Fury always had the right agenda in mind. No, I'm not going to come back and just fight Anthony Joshua and take what he gives me and beat him and go the long route. I'm going to beat Deontay Wilder because he opened up this. He started Pandora's box. I'm going to build myself up just a little bit. Let's look at what he fought. 2 cruiserweights, Deontay Wilder, 2 more fights against Tom Schwartz and Otto Wallin, Deontay Wilder. 6 fights. 6 fights, and now the man is the WBC and the Ring Magazine champion. I don't know about that lineal stuff. Because if you're vacated for your other belts, why wouldn't your lineal be vacated? Your lineal status be stripped from you. If they take all your other titles, why would you keep your lineal status? That's stupid. That was a ploy being used to sell a lineal champion versus the WBC champion because Anthony Joshua has all the hardware. He has all the Infinity Stones. But now, whether Deontay Wilder takes the rematch or not, Joshua kills Pulev because lightning is not going to strike twice. This is the same guy who's knocked out most of the people he's seen. This is the same guy who showed us against Andy Ruiz, a boxer that none of these guys face. None of them fight Andy Ruiz for the most part. Joshua made him famous, so now it's going to be a couple people who are going to roll the dice. He'll probably fight Ortiz as far as Ruiz goes because it's a PBC thing. But anyway, we don't care about that. I mean, that plays a part to me, and I'll get to that in a second, but Anthony Joshua has proven that he is either 1A or 1B. And if he, and like Tyson, because Tyson Fury has not proven by beating that guy that he's number 1. No. That's not the process of elimination. Can't be. Because Wilder hasn't done enough. It's like Ortiz. Wilder don't get to say I fought Luis Ortiz because who has Luis Ortiz fought? Andy Ruiz has a better resume than Luis Ortiz. When you get to the Dillian White, that's debatable. But right now, Dillian White, stop with the begging. Now you begging because you trying to get in the way of progress. You'll have your chance. But it's 100% your fault as well because you didn't take the Anthony Joshua fight when Big Baby Miller popped dirty. So Dillian White, you got to move to the side, boss. You one of the top 3, 4, 5 guys. Hands down, no question about it. You deserve another shot, no question about it. If Andy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz and Big Baby Miller, if these guys deserve a shot, Dillian White deserves a shot. But it don't have to be the WBC belt. You was offered a shot with Anthony Joshua when Big Baby popped dirty. You didn't take it. You made it a money thing. The 10 million or 7 million or whatever it was Eddie offered you, you didn't want it. Because you've been there and you've done that. And you weren't confident in yourself against Joshua. Fury is. And I'm telling you now, I'm riding with AJ. Full disclosure. I'm riding with AJ. I think the guy who stops AJ is not Tyson Fury. Because I don't think he's going to be able to just box and stick and move and stay away from Anthony Joshua for 12 rounds. I think Tyson Fury has a lot of pride. I think Tyson Fury is a great boxer. And I think Tyson Fury will, at some points in the fight, take risk and try to get close to Joshua. And I think Joshua will be who he always is. He will be the guy who's bounced back from everything thrown to him. He's not perfect. He hasn't been perfect. But shout out to the UK because right now it's time for y'all to make the noise. Y'all got to lay the foundation. We across the pond. We will be screaming for the same thing. We will be screaming for the same thing. And thank you, honestly, I have to be 100% real. Thank you to the co-promotions of Fox and ESPN because all the publicity y'all put into this fight and in the fashion that Tyson Fury ended it, Undisputed is so close to being reality. Best believe that the only people who don't want Undisputed is the PBC and Deontay Wilder. ESPN wants Undisputed, just like the Zone wants Undisputed. Just like the UK wants Undisputed. Just like America wants Undisputed. Saudi Arabia wants Undisputed. Sky Sports, Matchroom, BT Sports, MTK Global. They all want this fight. Bob Arum, Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. They all want this fight. So finally, the boxing gods have smiled down on us because the fans, what we want, finally coexist in the same bubble as what's best for all party involved, what's best for their business. All parties involved. This is what's best for their business. So there's no reason not to do it. We only got one little hiccup. That Wilder has a rematch clause that can be activated within 30 days. Wilder, you shouldn't take the fight. There's nothing for you to gain here because you've learned the lesson that you can't always rely on your power. And the fact that all you did was rely on your power and you didn't listen to the good trainer that you do have, Mark Breland, the gold medalist, the dude who's been a champion himself. You didn't listen to him. All these fights, you let them pick people who were beneath your power level, even if they were more fundamentally sound than you or more tactically sound than you. You allowed Al Heyman and the PBC to cherry pick, and you played a part. You know you did because you talked the baddest man in the planet stuff. You lied on Anthony Joshua and said he didn't try to fight you and he offered you $120 million. You're the one who had to sit down with John Skipper because you couldn't sit down with a person who was offering you more money than the people you work for. You're a baby. Karma got you. You deserve this. You bought this. Tyson Fury ain't cut like you. He gonna take that money. And in his mind, in his belief, in his opinion, he knows he'll beat Joshua and be the undisputed, be the top dog, be Thanos, have the Infinity Stones, be the face of boxing. Something you never dared to be great enough to be. Poor Deontay. There is no poor Deontay. This is karma, brother. This is karma. Shame on you for trying to start a race war. Shame on you for lying to the people when Anthony Joshua tried to give you generational wealth. Shame on you for saying one face, one name, one champion and having you had no thought, no ideas of ever fulfilling that for your fans. Shame on you, Deontay, for trying to use Black History Month to your advantage so you can make money. Shame on you for saying Luis Ortiz is the boogeyman and he ain't never fought nobody but you. Shame on you for sending Dillian White that text saying I don't have to do nothing, I can freeze you out for 2 years. Shame on you for letting Shelly Finkel tell the world that you were a baby and were not ready to fight Vladimir Klitschko and you were 32 fights in. And you compare yourself to Joshua. We heard JD's. Joshua had his moment, Deontay. This is your moment. And that man ain't got 25 fights today. And he done already dropped Klitschko, lost his belts, and got him back. Shame on you for trying to take the easy route, Deontay. Full disclosure, we never believed in you. Brock Brown, the ODTV. Take care of yourself. Peace.